run by certain schools, and I know of children who have got an IQ level of below 90, mild retardation, and those children, because of the special care taken in regular schools, these integrated children could do very well and get into higher education. And I know about 2-3 children who are doing their professional courses in spite of being mentally handicapped. And I could give full credit to such institutions which could do so well with mentally handicapped children by paying more attention and by following certain other systems, which we don't regularly have in our government sector. One of them, I feel, the foremost reason can be lack of proper pre-primary education, which is out of the ambit of the school department. We don't consider it our ambit at all. Our ambit begins from 6 years onwards, and that is my foremost objection, that the government must pay attention to children below 6 years of age, because that's the age where 80% of intellectual development takes place, language acquisition takes place. You can teach them multi-languages at that time and they can still be able to, if you teach them at that age, informally of course, but if those children are tapped properly, then the learning outcome at the later age, we will not be able to see the picture that was shown. And that is the first thing which I feel we should be thinking about, considering the better results in certain schools, because their pre-primary education is tackled scientifically, tackled well, and that is why even mentally slow children are able to pick up, and their reading and mathematical abilities are 100% they can tackle those. Another factor is the training of teachers, which you spoke about, and Madam Desai also spoke about, that she said that we need to see how higher education can be used in order to improve the level of our teachers. I think our teacher training is not as strong as it should be. The B.Ed colleges, the D.Ed colleges, the kind of training which the teachers require, I think should be the kind of training which is given to the revenue officers when they finish their IAS and IPS. If that kind of training is given and that kind of recruitment takes place, I think that can be an ideal setup. My desire would be to think about training which is a kind of residential training which prepares the teacher to tackle behavioral problems, the learning disabilities in the classroom. About 5 to 6 children in each class have got behavioral problems, even more. They are hyperactive, they are attention deficit, they may be very intelligent, they are not able to focus. These are the children who disturb, and because of them the entire classroom gets disrupted, and the teacher doesn't know what to do because the teacher is not trained for that at all. I know I am talking about very high ideas, but I think unless we focus on these things, we will not be able to do what is really required. And you are very right when you say that there should be a partnership between the public and the government, but that's a tall task. Because I must mention one small incident. Earlier, once in my constituency, in my district, there was a road which was very marshy, and the people wanted that to be corrected. So I said, okay, let's get one truck of murum, we'll put it through Lok Sabha, and we'll correct that thing. Okay, the truck came, we stopped the truck, we unloaded the murum there, and in order to motivate the people to come forward and put it, I also started putting that in the vessels and I tried to put it on the road. And after a few minutes I saw that I was the one who was doing it, and the people around were telling me, "Ma'am, idhar bhi dalo." So this is the kind of mentality. People feel that the government has to do everything. The government must provide every facility to their door. Now, with this kind of a thinking, it's a tall task to find people who can really work in partnership with the government and really get good outcome. I feel your suggestion about bridge courses, when you spoke to me down there, is a wonderful suggestion. One of your Child Rights Commission members, Mr. Fauzia Khan Speech, has carried out a very good experiment in Parbhani. The out-of-school children from the rural area, some villages were identified from the 5th standard, then they took about 4 or 5 computers, they installed some software, and now these girls are being trained. They learn till 10th standard and they are made to appear for the 10th standard examination. Such experiments are really worthwhile. What you suggested is beautiful, that Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan can be made to take these bridge courses, residential bridge courses, which can be very helpful, and the out-of-school children can be brought into the mainstream. That's a very good suggestion there. I saw the skill, the competencies which you showed, and the reading, the words, the letters, the words, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the number, how, you have categorized into 5 sections. And I think it is very right that there are different capabilities in children. It's not just because of the factors that are there in schools and at home or the parental motivation. It's the basic capabilities of the children. Because of that, certain children have got certain abilities developed, and you have rightly diagnosed it. You have done whatever is expected at your level. But when we design our curriculum, I think these capabilities have to be kept in mind, because curriculum designing also can be to 2-3 levels at least, where we remain with a certain competency level for a certain group of children who may not be able to do. If you make a study, I would advise you to, if you take up a further study, make a study on the competencies of the children, because if you see, there are a large number of children who can do only up to a certain level. And if you design the government policy at such a way, the curriculum in such a way, that up to that competency, a certain group of children may be expected. Just as you have, madam, in your 10th standard examination, A, B, C, D level questions. D level, only few children are expected to solve. Why can't we do that from 1st standard onwards? And try to bring one group of children to the other group, lift them up and motivate them accordingly. The award will not be only for the 1st standard, first ranked student in the class, but if one student goes from B group to C group, that child is equally good. But that will require massive training for the teachers, and I am talking in idealistic terms, no doubt. But I think between the ideal and the actual, we can work out a certain, because Balasabji is also here, we can work out a certain realistic framework. We must, I think, focus before I end up. I don't want to take a lot of time. We should first begin with a database, a school information management system, which has information of all the schools in the state and every teacher, whatever, every school. And I must congratulate the Desai madam for the online data that you have started collecting. That's a wonderful thing, but this should be the vision that we have with us. Teacher training, which should be completely reformed and changed. We should be thinking about textbook and learning material, which must be sturdier to be used for more years